All right, this is Trevor with Trevor Tech Tips to do a quick video review of a new website for generating landing pages or generating websites on the fly using artificial intelligence. It's called EZSite.ai. I really found it exceptional, and I'll point out how exceptional it is along the way. But I've used like a lot of other tools like this, like Bolt.new and Vercel V0. And I really find EZSite.ai is superior. It's amazing. So I first came up with a prompt I was going to use. There's a landing page I saw the other day, and I thought it was fairly well made. Sort of had all the elements of a really, high converting landing page. Art of Applying /academy, and I thought, well, I wonder if EZSite could clone it or maybe just make some improvements on it. So that's what I'm going to do. I've logged into EZSite. You can either create a new login or you can use Google Login. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it to clone this web page. And I'm going to ask it to add a newsletter call to action at the top, right of the navigation pane, and see how it starts. All right, so it can take a minute, and while it's going, you kind of see it in action. It'll like identify each page that it's generating. It seems to generate by default into React applications, and the code that it generates is actually of high quality. You can download it to either host it on your own site or deploy it to one of the sites they have configured within EZSite for you to deploy it to. And so really what it does is it takes the page that you're copying and creates like a clean source of code for it. That'll be a lot easier to manage than what a lot of code generators use. Like I said, it can take a few minutes. It seems to go in iterative loops until it knows that it's got a really good code base or really good finalized working React page, JavaScript before it will complete and show you the final results. So you can see where it says generating source code files. I'll point out some of the things that are along the way. So I'm not going to toggle it right now because it's working, but right now we're in preview mode. When it's done, it's going to show a visual representation of the page, and you can go to the code view where you can view the source code and download the source code. And down on the left is how you toggle for your account. Let me move this bar out of the way. Let me move it. But it's got basically it defaults to a mode where you could maintain your website within EZSite going forward and just deploy from there. So it's more than just generation. It's generation. It is an environment to store your code and maintain your code, and then to deploy it to whatever platform or site you wish to deploy it once it's ready. Okay, here we are. I ended up having to refresh the page. I think maybe it was done. It was just sort of stuck and not displaying. So again, and I went ahead and deployed it to show what the page looks like. So here's the original page. Okay, it's a pretty nice landing page. And here's first row around with a very simple prompt, what it came up with. It sort of has like a navigation bar on the top, the newsletter that I asked for at the top right-hand corner. Is it functional? And it's functional, right? It'll pop up, subscribe to the newsletter. And then it's got, call to action. It's got a section that goes over the features, different programs. And it's very, very nice. And then success stories, and then ready to start and apply, and the contact information, and then in the footer. So then I'm like, well, that's nice. Let's see if we can get even more out of this. We'll give it a little more advanced. So I say, and this is probably over the top, but we'll see what it does. I say, improve this landing page, improve conversions, improve lead capture, make it look professional like an Ivy League university like Harvard. And I really well, make sure I spelled the name right for this artist. I really like this artist, and this is just a wildcard thing to see what it comes up with. Art Surat. Um, so this is like one of my favorite artists, and so I'm going to see it, have it inspire based on the art of George Seurat, and I'm going to add this prompt uh, and give it another chance to improve it and see what it comes up with. All right, and here's the page. When it's done generating, it explains lists of all the pages that it created. You can see it's really well organized. All the components, the JavaScript components for React that it created, the app itself, the index page, so it all can be bundled up and deployed to a website. Explained what it did. Explains, overall it's nice, clean, and then recommends next steps. So I'm going to go ahead and just paste in this improvement. I say improve this landing page, improve conversion, improve lead capture, make it look professional like an Ivy League university, like Harvard. And I really like the artist George Seurat, so incorporate those colors and styles into the theme. Color styles and art, and let's see what it comes with. I'm going to let that run. And while that's going, I had a little fun off to the side. Let's see if it's going. I had another site I had it generate. And let's see if it's still going. Okay. All right. So I have a relative or a friend who started a lawn care business. The last name happens to be similar to the character Groot. And so, like, sort of a little play on it. They have a lawn care business they started, and they created this landing page. And I thought, well, I wonder what I could do with that. And so I asked it to create a new landing page for them as well. And I had it run and sort of said, create a pleasant and high converting landing page for this lawn care business. Make it theme look like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. Keep it organic and plant and lawn themed, like the character Groot. And then I gave them the example. And then I'll go ahead and hit publish. And I'll publish it right on EZSite. And you'll have options for multiple. You can publish to EZSite, Hostinger, WordPress, and then Netify. And they're going to add others, but I'm going to deploy to EZSite because, and I'm going to copy the URL. And you can have your own domain set up to point at this, and then this will be your permanent place where you manage your website. Let's see what it came up with. So that's pretty nice. I think it's nice. There you go. Lawn care. I'd say it's definitely an improvement. Look at that. Very nice. I mean, it still looks, like something you would see in your neighborhood. It has a contact board. Some of the colors might need tweaking. But yeah, I think it did a good job. So that was the second one. Let's go back and see how it's doing on this one. So you see it's running. This is what I expected to see the first time around when I ran it. It tells you what's going on the right. As it's generating the code, it's displaying it over here. On the left, it shows you each file that it's updating or creating. So let's give it a minute. It's generating code. Look, at some nice clean code with comments as well. See that it's generating, which is going to make it that much more maintainable, whether you keep it on this site or deploy it to another site and maintain it there. Okay, I'm going to pause the video now and let it run, and I'll show you the output. Oop, is it done? Maybe it's getting close. Seems like it's getting close. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. We'll play again when it's done. Okay, so it finished, and just sort of do the overall walkthrough here. Um, and it should show the history here. The first time, so the first time I ran it, I started off and I basically said, "Hey, I want to use this existing page, landing page, as inspiration, and I want you to redo it, and I want you to add a newsletter sign up call to action in the top right hand corner." And this was the output. It's pretty nice. All right, and then I went back and I said, "Hey, I want it to be more like there's the original one. Clone this page and add a newsletter, and it did. And then I went back after it was done. I said, improve the page, improve conversions, improve lead capture, make it more professional, like an Ivy League university like Harvard. And I really like the artist Surratt, so incorporate colors and styles. And let's see how it did. So I'm gonna go ahead and publish like I did before. I'm gonna choose EZSite again now. I'm gonna copy the link. I go over to the new tab. Let's see how it did. There you go. All right. I think it did a great job. Wow, this is really nice looking. Request information. Look at this. This is stunning. This looks, if you had to pay a developer to do this, it would be a lot of money. This is really, really top notch work, really, here. Look at this. Like the colors. Obviously, when you go to deploy it yourself, all these like testimonials and stuff, you'll have to update with your own information. But it's there. I mean, you just got to refine it, add the particulars, and look at the nice watermarking back there. The image, background image, nice footer. I tell you this. I think this probably looks nicer than Harvard's homepage. Really, it's amazing. Doesn't it look beautiful? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and post my review. If you got any questions, reach out. And again, this is EZSite.ai, EZSite.ai. Thank you.